Hi, everybody. Marty from Recast Software here, and I have the distinct pleasure to introduce you to a new product of ours called Endpoint Insights. Now, you may have heard a little while back about Enhansoft joining Recast Software, and what this is the fruits of that labor. All of the reporting and information that Enhansoft used to use is now becoming part of Endpoint Insights, and we'd like to show it to you today. So when we think about endpoint insights, what we think about is we think about information. So we all know that there is just a ton of information that gets put into Config Manager. But sometimes there's just some information that you're looking for that Config Manager simply doesn't have. Endpoint Insights adds a bunch of new information into the Config Manager database so that you can use it for reporting, like we talked about earlier, or you can also use it for doing things like creating collections or doing, that kind of a thing as well. Um, and all of the things that you see here are that are listed that say EI are the ones that are added by Endpoint Insights. So you can actually see things like, is there a database on this computer? What is the database name? What version is the database? Is there a docking station connected to this computer? This computer happens to have a docking station connected. What is the monitor that has been connected and currently is connected to this computer? What's the resolution of those monitors? And on and on and on. So you can see there's just a ton of information that's brought into your config manager database that doesn't usually exist there. So when we think about endpoint insights, we think about it as data or information. Now, there are a couple of new things that we can show related to endpoint insights that we're really excited about. The first one of those is the Endpoint Insights dashboard. Now, what we're doing here is the Endpoint Insights dashboard has some specific information or some specific reports that we thought it would be nice and that we thought you would like to have easy access to. So you can actually see here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm on the Users tab, and I'm going to go ahead and click Locate Computers by Username. And I'll go ahead and put in my username, which is Marty M, and then it's going to filter just to my username. And when I select that and hit view report, it shows all of the devices that I'm either logged into or I have been logged into, or the top console user. So you can kind of see where I've been in our environment. Now, here's where things get really interesting. What you can actually do inside of this report that we just created is that we can actually do some interesting things by left clicking. I know it's not a right click, it's a left click, but you can actually do a left click on these and get more information. Do you need it to do a machine policy retrieval? Do you want to go ahead and install missing software updates? Maybe not from the username report, but these are all different things that you can do. If you're a community user, you're still going to be able to, but have an Endpoint Insights license. You're going to be able to do the community tools against these devices. If you're one of our enterprise customers, then you have Endpoint Insights, then you will be able to do all of the actions against these devices as well. Awesome. So one of the things that we hear a lot then is, okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about what can I do with Endpoint Insights? Why do I even, why would I even need this? Well, here's just a little thing that we like to do, like to show. Let's say, for example, that security has been bugging me every day. But today, the thing that they came with is that they say, hey, can you check out Win10 Demo 8? I think there's a local user on that device. We're seeing a report that there's a local user on this device that shouldn't be there. So what I can do is I can actually go into our Endpoint Insights reporting, look at computer local account group details, and hit view report. So I see the one that we're looking for. It's right here, Endpoint Insights test. So it definitely does exist on this device. Um, so I know that we're absolutely have that on this device. So what can I do from this point? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go over into our devices, and it was demo 8. So we'll search for demo 8. And then from the right click tools, I can absolutely open a system information. Now, system information gets some information about the system, obviously. One of the things that it can show is local group members. And when I find, I can actually search. So it's Endpoint Insights is the name. So I can actually search for that. And there it is, that Endpoint Insights test user. Now, where this can get real interesting is I can actually go ahead and hit remove for that user. And now, when I try and check for that again, if I look for Endpoint Insights in that user section, that Endpoint Insights test user has been deleted. User's gone. Don't need to worry about it. I can send the information back to the security team and be like, hey, dudes, taken care of. Don't worry about it. So that's just one of the things that you can do. And one of the ways that we always think right-click tools and endpoint insights kind of is better together, right? Because you can do things, see things in one place and do things in another. And if you're doing it in here, you can actually see and do maybe at the same time. The other thing that I always like to show, you're probably thinking, okay, that's cool. I don't know if that's really that interesting. Can you show me another report that you really like? Yes, absolutely, I can. So, computer replacement costs is something that as Windows 11 comes out, more and more organizations are thinking, wow, we have some devices that literally will not work on Windows 11. We're going to have to replace those. So, what you can actually do within in this dashboard or in this report actually is you can go ahead and put in what you would like your lifetime for your devices to be in days and what the costs will be. And then you can select a collection. And when you hit view report, it'll actually show you, based on the numbers that you put up above here, when computers are going to need to be replaced. So if you look at this, we already have in that collection 1,193 devices that have already expired. We have 140 that are going to need to be replaced within the next year. And we have 502 that are going to need to be replaced 2 years after that. The costs here are all based on what we picked when we picked up at the top here. And then as you go further down, it actually shows you what the total is, and it can be the total per year, because we do actually have, it looks like we had some servers that were covered that are already expired as well. So really powerful information that we can get at very quickly because of Endpoint Insights. One of the things that Endpoint Insights does is it actually reaches out to find the warranty start date for a computer. It can do the whole warranty status, but in this case, the thing we're interested in is when did the warranty start, so that we know how long you're going to keep a computer. So we really definitely are super excited about all the things that we can do with Endpoint Insights. Um, all the information that we talked about adding, there's something like 200 different reports that come out of that. But also, the data is yours. So you have data that you can use to create collections. You can bring it into other places. If you have another inventory piece of software that you can bring that into from Config Manager, we absolutely can do that as well. Thanks, everybody. If you would like more information, go ahead and check out our website. And that's all. Thanks.